All right, Velocity Morning, peace and blessings. All right, getting into the conjunction of Moon and Ketu, right? Moon and Ketu in Vedic astrology and whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? I thought I might use, you know what I'm saying, the AI overview today. You feel me? See what the AI overview says and kind of piggyback or, jump off of that or whatnot. So, let me read it off for y'all right quick. In Vedic astrology, a Moon Ketu Chandra Ketu conjunction signifies a profound, often conflicting clash between the Moon's desire for emotional attachment and Ketu's push towards detachment. It frequently causes mood swings, a feeling of emotional emptiness, and deep intuition. People with this placement are often drawn to spirituality or occult sciences, right? True for the most part, you know what I'm saying? And I guess I can elaborate upon this and you feel me, get a little more into the complexities of Moon and Ketu. So, Moon as a character, you know what I'm saying? He's the emotionally attached, you know what I'm saying? He can be kind of babyish at times. He can be kind of dependent on the sensual stimulants. Moon is also romantic. Moon can be revered as a queen or just a charming figure. You know what I'm saying? Male or female, whatever you want to call it, right? Somebody who's naturally charming, somebody who's naturally cooling, calming, magnetic or whatnot, soothing. All of these types of qualities, right? And very much so geared towards material, emotional attachment, right? Moon is big on comfort and satiation. Big on comfort and satiation. Now, thing is, K2 is the Kartika of moksha, right? Moksha is the greatest satiation or the greatest comfort or the greatest, you know what I'm saying, immovable state of peace that one can reach. So they're not really different or diverse in their functions. And you know what I'm saying? If you want to be honest, K2 is the south node of the moon, you know what I'm saying? So the energies will have to relate in some way, shape, or form, you know what I'm saying? Moon, Rahu, and K2 are similar, even though, you know what I'm saying, they all seem to be these completely different entities and just enemies who just gang bang and crash out on each other and kill shit. Like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? It's, there is a similarity in the expressions of Moon, Ketu, and Rahu as well, right? But getting back to the comfort factor, right? So Ketu represents spiritual enlightenment, moksha, and comfort that can't be taken away from you because it is your ultimate true state. When in duality, when in these physical bodies, you feel me? When we're encumbered by the illusions of our environment, our reality, the different experiences, the constant amounts of information that we take in, you know what I'm saying, the constant traumas, the pleasures and the pains and whatnot, all of these things pretty much mold and have effect on the consciousness. It's like we're a different motherfucker moment to moment almost. You know what I'm saying? But internally, at a soul level, there is an unchanging immortal aspect of the self, right? Ketu was about shedding the layers, detoxing the layers to get back to that immortal aspect of the self or whatnot, right? So that you can have the true identity, the true comfort to break away the lie. Now, again, Moon is looking for comfort. K2 is looking for comfort. K2's comfort just comes with a lot of discomfort initially, right? If you're a fat motherfucker and you know what I'm saying, that's crazy. I didn't have to say fat motherfucker. I apologize to all the fat motherfuckers out there. I apologize dearly. You fat fuck. All right, I'm sorry. Let me stop. All right, okay. Fat lives matter, right? You can always lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody perfect. But anyway, like yeah, if you happen to be a person who's a bit overweight, and you want to get into the perfect bodily figure, right? The perfect bodily figure would provide you, I guess you could say, a sense of peace, a sense of enjoyment. Maybe you have more breath, or maybe just a bit more confident. You know what I'm saying? All the beneficial things that come with being in shape, right? Now, the journey to get from out of shape to in shape, it is difficult. It takes a lot of undoing. It takes a lot of undoing the Dunkin' Donuts, undoing the Burger King, undoing the Red Robin. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of undoing all the years of compiled junk deposit that you've pretty much let dwell within your body. It takes a lot of detoxing. It takes a lot of juicing, a lot of, you feel me, a lot of lessening of your food intake, right? And that itself, that is the harsh process, or the fiery process, or the process of Ketu that gets real uncomfortable, right? You know what I'm saying? The detox phase, right? The weight loss journey, right? That can be fairly uncomfortable. But it also is uncomfortable if you decide to not lose weight, going to keep eating the burgers, you're going to keep eating the fish fry and the crab boil and all the extra shit or whatever. That's also damn near equally uncomfortable as well, because the diabetes persists. You know, out of breath up a flight of stairs persist or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These things persist, and it causes an uncomfortability as well, right? And K2 highlights this uncomfortability within the beginning stages, right? That's why it pushes a person towards detachment. It pushes a person towards letting go of whatever material things are keeping that person locked into a certain mode or state of being, right? But ultimately, follow K2, do right by K2, you lose the weight, comfort, you know what I'm saying, is back, right? So, thing about Moon is, Moon wants the comfort now. Moon is the baby with the bottle. You know what I'm saying? You take the bottle away from the baby. You about to give the baby. You about to add some cereal or whatever the fuck to it, right? You about to add some nutritious shit, or you about to upgrade the bottle, throw a couple of drops of honey in the bottle or whatever the fuck, right? You know what I'm saying? Get a baby a better taste, whatever. But the baby doesn't care. The baby starts to scream as soon as you take the bottle away. You feel me? I want the bottle now. I'm not really trying to reason or trying to be patient. You feel me? I just want what I want, and I want it in this very instant or whatnot. And the problem with the Moon and K2 energy when they come together, you feel me? If K2 is the stronger energy, Moon is adaptive. Don't get me wrong. Moon naturally converts to the state of where it's placed, sign, you know what I'm saying, conjunction, house, all that. Moon naturally adapts to it, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. That's why Moon has no enemies. You feel me? Moon is pretty much able to get around anybody and hang with anybody and adapt, form into the qualities of anybody and whatnot, right? So Moon can adapt to the ways of Ketu, especially if Ketu is the more powerful Graha in its instant. But if Ketu is weakened, you know what I'm saying, Moon has an especially strong position about itself. Like, let's say Moon and Ketu is in Taurus. It's not a bad conjunction, you know what I'm saying? It's not too bad of a conjunction in its expression. You'll just see more of the Moon qualities sustained over time, and the person pretty much is compounding the weight, compounding the sensuality, or the sensual experience, or compounding the idea of probably wanting to get married or family and all these different things when Ketu was trying to take him away from that. And it can lead to Moon Ketu, I would say, in Taurus. It doesn't necessarily always have to be this way, but I'm just thinking about a chart that I've come across as of recent that actually has this conjunction, right? Moon and Ketu, you feel me? End up losing the husband, you feel me? End up losing a lot of the family support and situations, shit like that. But the individual makes a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? very spiritually inclined as well. Very interested in ancestral traditions and you know what I'm saying, different worldwide spiritual systems or whatnot. Very much so about that. The income is crazy. You know what I'm saying, which is the manifestation of the moon. Uh, what else? What else? And the material and spiritual still kind of make a blend. So it's not like the person is just purely, materially situated when the moon comes into contact with Ketu either. You will see, you will see often a lot of the time a great deal of spiritual adaptation in a person's waking life, in a person's conscious thought pattern. Like, you feel me? These people aren't just people who just gonna be somewhere sitting down in a cubicle punching the keyboard type shit all damn day, right? They could do that, but their life is not just gonna be a bland, atheistic, 3-dimensional, pay your taxes, go home, fart in front of your wife, argue about the fart, get put out the house about the fart, gotta go sleep at your homie house, you fart in front of his wife, then they have to kick you out. Now you're homeless for farting. You know what I'm saying? It's not that type of reality or existence. When moon comes into contact with Ketu, is very much a spiritually charged and intuitive placement. You know what I'm saying? Deeply intuitive placement as well, and a placement for experiencing a lot of the deeper level comforts of moon as well. You know what I'm saying? But the moon can have the imprint or the impression that a lot of these materials, comforts, and situations are constantly shifting, changing, redirecting, moving, trying to grab, trying to hold, and you know what I'm saying? The bottle left once again, you know what I'm saying? And it might come back, but you don't know when the bottle's going to leave again. You just know that the bottle is not immortal and the bottle isn't to stay with you forever. So you got to pretty much find that internal, higher spiritual, universal state of peace, truth, attachment, whatever you want to call it, right? I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but so yeah, mood swings, feeling of emotional emptiness, deep intuition, for sure, for sure. I've done charts with the moon and K2 and definitely have asked people, like, you know what I'm saying, do you feel like you bipolar, or do you feel like, you might be schizophrenic to some degree? And most of the responses is yeah, you know what I'm saying? Emotional erraticness, you know what I'm saying? Which is nothing to laugh about. Changes within the personality, and a person often kind of being unable to really put their trust or place their comfort in individuals as well. You know what I'm saying? Quick to cut off people who sometimes actually mean good for them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the moon is more so afflicted. You know what I'm saying? Like that moon in K2, quick to, like, you could be around somebody and they might say something or display something that's off to you, but it's a totally innocent action. It's not even something that's really that deep, or it's not even something that the person is even aware was a disrespect of some sort. You know what I'm saying? But the moon in K2, due to the fragility, due to the sensitivity of the individual, especially if moon is afflicted again, and maybe K2 is a bit more stronger, can lead a person to just sever or cut that connection. You know what I'm saying? And even possibly go back and forth within the head, like, did I do the right thing? You know what I'm saying? Was I tripping, or were they just respecting me, or whatever the fuck, all that. What else with moon and K2? Moon and K2, this can be a combination in an extreme way. It can make people find comfort in extremely uncomfortable situations. You know what I'm saying? It can make people find comfort in, I kind of like imagine maybe maybe the gamer nigga, you know what I'm saying, who just somewhere laid up on the couch or eating the Tostitos and whatever the fuck, you feel me? Uh and it can manifest in a myriad of ways, you know what I'm saying? It can manifest as, being addicted to some type of drug or some type of, substance or whatever, right? Things that fulfill the emotional holes that, what I'm saying, people often hold within themselves. Moon and Ketu can make a person, like, for instance, Ramana Maharishi, right? The yogi, right? Extremely spiritual, extremely, highly exalted and attained or whatnot, right? But he had Moon and Ketu in Gemini, I think Ardra Nakshatra, or possibly Pranavasa, I don't know which one exactly. But, excuse me, Moon and Ketu in Gemini, right? Dude would be able to sit down in stillness and meditation for so long that worms would literally be gnawing away at his flesh. They say dude needed a surgery of some sort to be performed. I forget exactly what body part it was or what part of his body. And, normally that type of surgery, I got to go really look up the information as well, but normally that type of surgery will require a person to go under anesthetic. Like you couldn't stay conscious or you just couldn't stay awake during the type of surgery due to the pain and shock that would normally be caused by the system, right? But he was awake through the whole entire process, acting like it's nothing. So that is one way that situation can manifest as well. Moon becomes uncomfortable in Ketu, and Ketu can represent or signify extreme burning or extreme discomfort situations to where, you know what I'm saying, it's like extreme hot commas, just flaming, just boiling, bursting, you know what I'm saying, on fire, whatever. But the person has possibly been so used to that situation in former lifetimes, or so used to training oneself to endure in those environments or adapt to those environments, the person pretty much converts and they become comfortable in it. I don't know, it could possibly be dirty household, not to say that everybody with Moon K2 is dirty. That's crazy, right? It could be anything. Any you'll see an element of something that's naturally disturbing. These people can be comfortable with, or they can endure like it's nothing. Not to the point of motherfucking, not to the point of, you know what I'm saying, like everybody with Moon and K2 just gonna have worms coming out their flesh in deep meditations, you know what I'm saying? That's wild, but to some degree, you know what I'm saying? What else can I say about Moon and K2? Right, the intuition is definitely naturally strong. It can give a possibility to rise to a degree of leadership as well, right? Moon is like a natural queen. You feel me? From a feminine perspective and from a masculine perspective, it carries a sense of royalty, like charming royalty. Maybe you could say Prince Charming if you want to call it, right? Somebody who's alluring, somebody who has a presence of command, but you still go to them, you still trust them, you actually love them and appreciate them like they're a mother of some sort. You know what I'm saying? So Moon and Ketu can manifest these types of individuals. You know what I'm saying? They just have a natural magnetic aura. It can manifest people with a shamanic presence, you know what I'm saying, or who have shamanic abilities, you know what I'm saying, or abilities to identify parts of your psyche that might be broken and show you how to heal that or whatever, how to bring that back into integration or whatnot, right? World leaders with Moon and K2, Donald Trump got it, you know what I'm saying? And the whole the MAGA squad, you feel me? And the small hats too. I think they look like they kind of rocking with Trump and whatnot. The Chinese leader, Xi Jinping. You know what I'm saying, he got Moon and K2 in Cancer, I believe. Hitler. Heil Hitler. Let me chill out before I get my whole shit flagged the fuck down. I'm tripping. I gotta find out a way to clip that shit out, ain't it? That's a crazy thing to say. Oh my god. Please forgive me. I love. Let me stop. But yeah, dude, he had Moon, Ketu, and Jupiter in Sagittarius third house. You know what I'm saying? The dude, the guy with the small mustache. I don't want to get this clip video. I don't want to get my video taken down on a clip or anything like that, right? Small mustache guy. Uh, yeah, Moon and Ketu in Sagittarius with Jupiter, and he had a natural charisma. You feel me? And he was extremely into the spiritual search pursuit. You feel me? The different tinfoil hat nigger conspiracies and all these extra things and things of that nature, whatever. He was very much so about that, right? Very much so into the hidden history and Agartha and the blue people and all this extra shit, right? And that was Hitler. Oh damn, I said his name again. I'm tripping. Now, who else got Moon and K2? Skrilla. He's in a Palo Santo, right? The rapper dude, the 6'7", you know what I'm saying? Do. You feel me? Like he has Moon and K2. And he has an addiction as well. He's into the a whip fiend, a whipper fiend, or whatever they call it, a dope fiend or whatever.